This is the sign of getting to work, the giant roll of tape. Okay, filter on in here, everybody. Hello, and thank you all so much for being here. Delighted to have you join us on what will be a very important day for Denver. I am excited to announce today that today we'll be signing the first executive order of our administration. This executive order will create the Denver Permitting Office. What this will do is bring together 280 individuals who right now work in the city across 7 different departments to work collaboratively under one office to help dramatically accelerate the speed of permitting in the city of Denver. This is a very big deal because right now, if you are someone who is looking for an affordable housing unit somewhere in the city, if you are an entrepreneur looking to open a small business, this right now is going to make that work faster, easier, and cheaper. And for us, that means sending a clear message that Denver is open for business. And so let me tell you a little bit more about the structure of this office, and I'll introduce some of our speakers who will be talking more about it. I do want to mention we are delighted to be here at the Urban Egg. You're going to hear from their owners a little bit later, but we are in part here because this site has been a part of our broader efforts to accelerate permitting in the city. That meant last year our team at CPD, and I see Robert, some of our teammates here, who helped lead an effort to make significant incremental improvements in our permitting process that made it about 30% faster. That was a great start, and we knew we wanted to do more. As part of that this year, we launched an express lane, an express permitting process for restaurants like Urban Egg, so we can get these restaurants open faster. Previously, it could take up to 18 months to get a restaurant permitted for opening. Now with this new express permitting lane that Adib and Manish have led, we've gotten that down to a number of weeks. And so I think that is symbolic of the kind of change we want to make here in the broader permitting changes. So a couple of key items you'll want to know about the Denver Permitting Office. The first step, as I mentioned, is combining all these individuals from multiple departments underneath one office with one director who reports directly to the mayor. In addition to that, we're making a historic commitment for the first time in Denver that we will commit in Denver to having all of these projects completed and permitted within 180 days of time in our hands. What that means is if you are submitting for a site development plan and or permits, when you submit that proposal, if it's a complete proposal, we will start a shot clock that says we will guarantee to you that within 180 days that project will be completed and will be permitted. In addition to that, what we have done is we have brought all of the executive directors, who you'll see here, who oversee the relevant agencies that support these efforts, to create an executive committee, which means if after that 180 days you are still stuck and your project has not gotten a final decision, within 14 days you have a direct appeal to this executive committee who will unstick whatever is stuck, get that project moving and up again. We're so serious about that commitment that if after that convening, within 30 days, if you've not reached resolution or gotten a permit, we will refund up to $10,000 of your permitting fee. And so we're going to make a big public commitment to a time frame. We're going to make a commitment to accountability for us and for the city to deliver on those results. And we're going to bring all the amazing city employees together in one location to deliver on success. A couple other things I want to mention. We also want to be committed deeply to world-class customer service. For us, that means being available to answer any questions when folks have them. That means this executive order comes with 2 concrete commitments on that front. One is a commitment that we will get back to residents on any question or concern they have within 2 business days, so that you don't have to worry about sending an email or making a call and not hearing back or hearing back in a timely way. In addition to that, we will also make sure that we have in-person services available 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday every week. So if you have a question, you can walk in, see a person, get connected, and get an answer. And so we think that combination of both a strong commitment on quality and speed, accountability for those results, an oversight team that will make sure that we can resolve how to escalate conflicts, give us a chance at a transformational success on this effort. 2 other things to mention. We also know that one of the things we've heard from people is it can be a big, complicated city if I need to navigate 5 or 6 or 7 departments. Is there someone who can press an easy button for me on that? The answer is yes. We're also announcing today the creation of what we will call project champions, which means when you submit a proposal for your project, As soon as you submit it, we will assign to you a project champion. That is one person at the city who will be your guide through the entire process. So if you're 1 month in or 3 months in or 4 months in, you need to talk to a different department or a different division, that is the individual who can help coordinate, align, and deliver outcomes across the city. I was a old high school principal, as you know. It is the equivalent of your homeroom teacher. It is the one person your parent can call anytime to get all the information that you need. This is the one city employee you can reach out to get all of those questions answered. We led, I think, unprecedented community engagement process on this. We spent the better part of a year getting feedback from private partners, nonprofit partners, community members, business leaders on what they wanted to see, what they needed to see, and what they thought the most important changes are. What you'll see represented today are a result of that intensive community feedback. And so I just want to thank all of our partners who showed up, gave feedback, helped us improve this process. They'll probably see their fingerprints all over many of the design components that you see before us today. So the last component is that we will have also a one-stop shop for any questions you have on permitting. So we'll have a website that you can come to. Any question you have on permitting, wherever you are in the process, it's one easy location to make sure you get those questions answered. So that's our high-profile and high-level announcement for what we're trying to start today. I want to introduce a couple of speakers. You'll get to hear from a little bit more about the details of this proposal. But I'm going to start by introducing the woman I have appointed to be our first head of the Denver Permitting Office, someone who brings 20 years of incredible experience, insight, is an innovative thinker, knows how to solve hard problems, has earned the trust and respect of both the city employees who work with her, as well as the private partners who work in collaboration. Love to welcome to the stage our new director of the Denver Permitting Office, Jill Jennings-Golick. Where are you, Jill? That's you. Oh, did I do that in the wrong sequence?
I think Manish is going first.
Okay. Thank you for that. I got so excited I forgot to leave my sequence of events. I wanted to introduce Jill. That was the right thing. Then I wanted to introduce Manish to talk before Jill. So thank you, Jill. You've been introduced. But I would love to introduce Manish, who you all probably know, who has been leading our Community Planning and Development Office, has been instrumental in this design and collaboration. Many of the improvements you've seen today, like our express permitting for restaurants, but also what we think has helped us deliver on what will be a transformational opportunity for Denver and the creating of the Denver Permitting Office. So please welcome to the stage, Manish.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor Johnston. Your vision and clarity has been driving the force behind today's announcement. You have always set bold goals and inspired us to meet them or exceed them. Well, today marks a defining moment for the future of development in Denver. When I joined Community Planning Development about a year ago, the mayor gave us a clear charge. Make customer service central to everything that we do. Improve the permitting process and position Denver to deliver world-class projects faster with greater accountability. Well, over the past year, we've listened. We've listened to our city council members, we've listened to our residents, to our architects, engineers, developers, small business owners, and our city employees. And they've told us loud and clear 3 key things that we can improve on. The first is that permitting takes too long. Number 2, it's unpredictable. And number 3, it's hard to navigate. So we got to work. In close partnership with all 7 executive directors whose departments touch the permitting process, and with the energy of our permitting tiger team, we have built something brand new. The Denver Permitting Office was created to not tweak some edges and ruffle some feathers here and there. It was created to fix what's broken with permanent structural changes to our permitting process. The new DPO gives us something that we never had before, a centralized citywide framework for coordination, performance, and accountability. It empowers our staff to work across silos, develop solutions, resolve issues early on, and track progression. It is not a cosmetic update, but a rather foundational shift at how Denver manages development. The truth is simple. If Denver wants to remain a thriving city, we need to have a building that can service its needs. Now let me be clear. We're not going to say that the work is done yet, but rather that business as usual is over and the work is about to begin. So whether you want to open your first cafe, or build out affordable housing, or design a future that's going to shape the skyline for Denver for years to come, we want you to succeed. We want to be your cheerleaders that support you throughout this entire endeavor. I'm proud of co-led the creation of this new office alongside a remarkable team of executive directors, city leaders, and Tiger team members. Your partnership has not only made this possible, but has truly shown what collaboration can achieve. To carry this work forward, I'm honored to introduce the first director of the Denver Permitting Office, Jules Jennings-Golick, who has made a commitment to the permitting system for years to come.
Thank you, Mayor and Manish, for that introduction. I am honestly so proud to be leading this effort. It is truly an honor, and I hope I don't get stung, sorry. I first want to give a huge shout out to all of our city staff who have been instrumental over the last year in working on the efforts to date, and all of you, our customers, who have provided feedback and helped shape where we are today. Here in Denver, we want to be a top-tier city to do business with, and this new office is a commitment to that goal. As mentioned in our efforts from last year, we were able to reduce permit review times for single-family duplex projects by more than 30%, as well as in other review areas. And the Denver Permitting Office will be a collaborative, interdepartmental effort of approximately 280 staff across multiple departments to speed up review times and work in collaboration with our residents and our development community. We have heard your feedback.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you. And are taking action to improve speed and make the process more seamless. To do that, as the mayor indicated, we will be holding ourselves accountable to a 180-day city review time for all applicants to ensure that we are great partners with our community from start to finish. So how will we do that? We have already this year been implementing a tracking system to monitor how much time projects take in our hands and in our customer hands. And now we'll be updating that to look at projects in review to ensure that if they're exceeding that time frame, they are rapidly brought forth to the executive committee for their review and determination on what's next. The goal is to give rapid resolution. Additionally, we'll be creating an interdepartmental conflict escalation process. So no longer will you, our customer, have to work in between departments to try to resolve an issue. Instead, we'll be empowering our staff at the lowest level possible to try and resolve those issues. Myself, as DPO director, will be brought in if that's not possible. And if it's an issue of charter authority, then that will be taken to the executive committee for, again, quicker resolution. We are committed to improving customer service and will require that staff respond to customer inquiries within 2 business days. And we will also be putting forth a public operation plan for our counters to ensure that staff are available. If you have a question, we're here to serve you during the week. And we'll also continue to have appointments available. We believe the combination of these steps will remove lag time and barriers and ensure efficiency for those doing business in our city, whether you're building a new 14-story building or you need to add on a room to support a family member who needs to move in. We are here to support you and collaborate. And now I would like to introduce our next speakers from Urban Ag. First, a thank you for hosting us here today. And as noted, they were the first tenant to participate in our downtown 16th Street Express pilot program. And I look forward to how we evolve this program and learn from it and move forward. So I will welcome up the founder of Urban Ag, Randy Price, and their CEO, Mark Agarton. Thank you so much.
Thank you all for being here. We're super excited to have been able to participate in the pilot program of the permitting process. I can tell you as a business owner that has been doing business in Colorado for 23 years, and I've got a couple of locations in Denver, that this has been an unbelievable experience for transforming the process of permitting and getting us moving quickly. As an owner and a business founder, all you want to do is get in, get open, hire new staff members, contribute to community, and start producing tax revenue for the cities. And it's great to hear that there may be a level of hospitality coming to regional building in Denver, and I think that's a huge deal. But we have certainly been witnessed that and been part of that the last 3 months. I want you all to know that we've been polishing stainless steel inside, so you're all welcome to walk through the restaurant and see what it looks like 3 months after an application. It's amazing the progress we've made. We're moving quickly, and we're real excited about it. As mentioned, I'm the founder and the owner of the Urban Ag Restaurant Group. We are a Colorado-founded company. Urban Ag has 9 locations on the Colorado Front Range, including this newest location in downtown Denver. that will be opening in late July of this summer. Urban Egg is very proud of the revitalization efforts taking place in the lower downtown Denver area, and we are very excited with our proximity to Union Station and the Millennium Bridge. Urban Egg will be adding 45 new team members to our family, our growing family in Colorado, with the opening of the Triangle building behind me, and will be another great option for an elevated breakfast, brunch, and lunch experience for current residents and current workers in this downtown area. So we're real excited about that. Urban Egg is committed to the communities that we call home, and we always have been, with plans to support the Lower Downtown Neighborhood Association, Food for Thought, and high school students. Expanding our Teachers First program to Denver, honoring outstanding educators that we feel is so important to our communities and to our children. Working with the 16th Street Revitalization Program, and continuing to maintain our relationship with Denver Park and Trust, building and maintaining beautiful parks throughout our great city of Denver. I would like to thank Mayor Johnston for recognizing and acting upon the need to work alongside businesses and to streamline the process of a unified front in the permitting process, meeting the goals of improving the permitting process so we can all work together to impact this great community, and we can all work together to make Denver the best city that it can be. So thank you all for coming out. I'm going to introduce my CEO, Mark Augarten, but I do appreciate you all being here and couldn't be more happy with this day and this executive order and all your work and all your help. So thank you very much.
Just for context, CES stands for Chief Egg Officer in this environment. But look, we were going to build this restaurant regardless of the express lane that the mayor talked about. And when we heard about it, we felt incredibly excited, and didn't do that on purpose. Very excited, and also really honored to pilot the program. It was really evident from day one. I can recall the first day that we really submitted our plans and had an all-hands meeting with, there must have been 20, 25 different leaders from within the city to go over the plans, to make comments, suggestions, problem solve in real time. And I sat on that call, that 90-minute call, and I realized just how expeditious this was going to be as a result of that. They mentioned a project champion. One of them is here today. Robert Peak has been instrumental to moving this process forward. When you build a restaurant or any business, there's always the unexpected, and you have to be able to react very quickly to that. And through Robert and John Hill as well, we were able to get that done and navigate. It's going to be a lot better opening this restaurant in July than in November or December for sure. So we're incredibly excited. The response time from the city has been spectacular. So from our standpoint, excited to be a part of it, and really excited to bring energy to this vacant space. 8 years, this has been dark, right? And we're all trying to bring energy down here, and all of our partners are excited about that. As Randy mentioned, we have all these jobs and career opportunities that we could bring as well, not to mention hopefully becoming your favorite spot for breakfast, brunch, and lunch as well. And I'm the only thing probably standing between you and some award-winning buttermilk biscuits and sage sausage gravy. So if you haven't tried it, please try it. We also brought some locally roasted coffee as well. So we're excited to be here, and very appreciative of all the city's efforts to make this happen for us. So with that, I'll turn it back over to the mayor.
Okay, I'm about to sign this executive order, but before I do that, I want to say one more word of thanks, which is I want to say thank you to the extraordinary coalition of executive directors who are standing behind me. When you talk often about why public processes don't work, it is because it is often hard to get people who run independent agencies to collaborate together. So folks would say, oh, it's hard if there's a disagreement between parks and fire. It's okay, very soft landing. We designed it that way on purpose. It can be hard to resolve a conflict between two agencies. Agency heads are incentivized to hold on to their own control around their own operations. What was unprecedented here was this group came together and said, let's do whatever is required to deliver the best results for customers, and we'll figure out how to collaborate together to get there. So this really is the result of their courage, their selflessness, and their commitment to the city. So I would love to give them a huge round of applause. Thank you so much. Let's sign this thing. It is now official. Okay, I do think we can take some questions now. I'm not going to awkwardly sit here. I'm going to go back to the main podium, but if you do have questions, we're happy to take them. Shift, left. Yes, okay, questions, we're ready.
What was the alternative to get it done if you hadn't have done that?
Thank you. I think the importance of the executive order is a couple things. One, I think it shows the urgency and the priority of this issue for the city. As I mentioned, it's the first executive order I've signed since I've been mayor. And I think the reason why is it does create a couple of new structures that need to help solve this problem. Obviously, the permitting office itself is a new entity. And so to create a new organization that brings together 280 employees across the city, we think required that level of action. And to create the structure by which all these departments will collaborate to resolve conflict, because it has this much impact on this many employees and this many departments, we thought it was important to have direct executive action. So that was why we chose this, and given the urgency we wanted to move fast, it's well within our executive purview, but thought it was the right way to both codify the commitments and also make sure they live on for us to focus on living up to their promises. Yes?
How much does it cost to create this new department?
Thank you. It does not have new cost because we are utilizing our current employees. What we're doing right now is structuring them in a different way that makes it easier for them to resolve conflict and get permits moving. And so the idea that right now you might have to sequentially go to planning and development, then to Dottie, then to fire, and to many other stops along the way. The ability to have all those people in one location working collaboratively and often reviewing those permits concurrently rather than consecutively makes it move much faster and makes you resolve conflict much more quickly. And so it doesn't require new resources, it just requires structuring our work in a different way.
And what's the department budget?
So we don't have a department budget right now at this point, because what will happen is, you almost stumped me on that. What will happen is obviously the individuals who work in the permitting office are still employed through their home agency. So if you are a fire inspector, you still work in the fire department, you still report to the fire chief. For purposes of permitting, you're working collectively in this office in partnership with Jill to make sure those teams deliver the results on permitting.
It's my understanding that there will be about 3 employees within that office. Can you talk about how they will they be working with those different departments then? I mean, how is it going to be only that many people actually in the office?
That seems like a wonderful question for our new executive director of the Denver Permitting Office. I'm going to give it over to Jill.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, there'll be myself and 2 others leading the Denver permitting efforts, but in coordination and collaboration with all of our city staff and departments and our wonderful executive directors behind us, really building off the efforts we've had for the last year through our permitting Tiger team. So we will be working in collaboration, a mighty group of city staff working together to fulfill the commitments in the executive order.
Yes.
Speak to the economic impact of this. Has there been any analysis of what this will do for sales tax or actual hard numbers for growth?
I do not have those hard numbers. There may be someone here that does. If so, you should let me know. What we know, Kyle, is we hear anecdotally all the time, there's nothing that drives up the cost of a project more than it taking 3 years to get it done. And oftentimes apartment buildings, commercial properties, we'll talk about the tens of thousands of dollars it's costing them a month in delays, and those just get passed right on to the person that's trying to buy that condo or rent that unit. And so we think this dramatically accelerates the speed and reduces the cost for those projects. There may be folks in the crowd who can speak to that, but I think we know that's the truth. We'll see if we have any global data on the number of projects. Yes.
So that 180 days, is that from the concept site plan to the building permit?
That is site development plan and permitting if you apply for them together. As you know, it sounds like you're an expert on this. Some folks might do a site development plan through to completion and then wait for a longer time before they start applying for permits as two separate processes. If they pursue both of them together, the commitment is 180 days for both of those to be completed, which we think is a very ambitious, aggressive restructuring. For us, we think this makes Denver, we think, the national model for how to get permitting done efficiently, effectively, cheaply, and to high quality if we do it well. Thank you. Any other questions?
There's a lot of talk about how this might benefit commercial properties. Won't this process or this office also benefit residential permit projects? Can you talk about that benefit?
It will. There are some, so I'll give you an answer that might be true, and then I'll let Jill tell you what's actually true. There are, if you are a single family residence or a duplex, you would not be in this fast track because you have a different permitting type pipeline. All other projects, I believe, are, but let Jill come in and tell you if that's true or not.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. So our single-family duplex projects won't have a project champion per se, but all of this is intended to bring us together better as a city to collaborate and ensure the successful completion of all project types.
Giving those residential projects the champion.
The project champion is really for those that have to go through the site development plan process. Our single-family duplex, generally speaking, do not have to. If there's a larger urban infill project with, let's say, 100 lots, like we see out at Green Valley Ranch, for example, in our far northeast, those do go through the site development plan process and would have a project champion.
Well, thank you all so much for being here. You can tell it's another beautiful day in downtown Denver, so by all means, eat some urban egg, come back early and often for exactly the breakfast that you're looking for. How did I do? Is that good? Thank you all so much, and huge thanks to our team and executive directors.